Hey guys, Richie here. This holiday season, you can help support Band Geek with your Amazon shopping. Before you do your shopping, head on over to riotcast.com/bandgeek and hit the Amazon banner at the top of the page. That takes you to your normal Amazon site, and then you do your shopping like you normally would, except when you check out, a small percentage of your purchase goes to supporting our show, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. Thanks for your support, and happy holidays.
Band Geek, I'm Richie Castellano.
Joining me today.
Well, wait a minute.
This is weird.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, who's supposed to go first?
All right, you're the guest, so you go first.
Well, am I the guest though?
Well, you're in my freaking house. So
well, you're on the whole.
I am on the whole, but you're on Band Geek
That's
in my
true.
house.
That's a good point. Yeah, I'm in your house too.
So you go first.
All right, welcome to Whole Bitches. I am Rob Sprance.
I'm Chris Fortney.
We're done
Jared
already.
Pressman.
Richie Castellano.
Wait, hang on, Jarrett's. You're on the other show.
No, actually, that's a good point. Are we going to discuss who's got custody of Jared at this point?
Do you want him? You can have him.
I mean, I kind of like him coming over and visiting.
He does need a forever home.
I kind of invited him, so I don't know.
Nobody who wants me.
Put us on McLaughlin. Won't you please help Jared?
I'll pass. In the arms
Go ahead,
So now we do mine? Okay.
Yes, go.
Welcome to Band Geek. I'm Richie Castellano. Joining me today is my co-host, Jarrett Pressman.
What up, bitches?
On the drums is... Oh, you have to clap. Yay. We actually have enough people to clap now. It sounds like a real audience. On the drums, Andy Ascalise.
Hello, everybody.
On the keyboards, Vin Innocente. On the guitar, Andy Graziano. Our mysterious Wilson-esque voice in the background, Brandy Metaxas. My wife will be, jumping in and out. I think she's currently dressed as Chewbacca.
Yeah, she's wearing a Chewbacca onesie, and not as a joke, which just concerns me a little bit.
I am Chewbacca onesie, but
Not
she
anymore.
You changed? What character are you now?
I'm wearing normal people clothes.
Oh, now she's just
I'm wearing a Richie Castellano uniform.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a black shirt and jeans.
Now she's just a regretful wife.
No.
Is that your uniform? Black shirt and jeans? That's your thing now?
Look at him.
I guess.
Like Steve Jobs-ish kind of thing?
It's
Yeah.
like David Duchovny on Californication.
Yeah.
He always wore.
Less
black
Richie,
shirt.
more like... No, I like to think of it as like a superhero
general.
out like closet, where it's just like the same outfit, but like 15
30
times.
times.
Have you
been-
looked at his dresser drawers?
Like Doug?
His closet?
I hope not.
Let's all go upstairs and look in Richie's closet.
We'll see what his
Bring the cameras with us.
Fuck the music.
We'll see what his color palette is.
There is none.
Also, depending on
Ranges
where
from
Richie's
black
going,
to gray.
also depending on where Richie's going, the more zippers his pants have.
That's right. That's the truth.
So how many zippers on stage?
Ooh, that's
Like
a good question.
like
What kind of
zippers
gig?
Top and bottom. Let's do BOC.
BOC gig? Oh, there's at least like 6 or 7 zippers on those pants.
So and what about
Yeah.
Morning
And,
Star?
and there's penises behind every one of them.
We're not talking about backstage. We're talking about on stage.
Our guests today are from the Whole podcast, which is the podcast that started us down this wacky adventure.
the blame.
It's the first podcast I ever was a guest on, and I watched them do it. I said, if these jerks can do this, I can do this.
There's no talent.
Kind of like how we said it.
Rob Sprance, the godfather of the RiotCast network.
Sprance.
And Chris Fortney, arguably the most good-looking person we've ever had down here. Look at that guy.
Stop it, guys.
I don't want to look too long. I'll get lost in your eyes. So,
I didn't prepare Peter Gabriel today. So.
I'm going to let you take it over from here, actually.
Yeah, so our guests today are Richie Castellano and the Band Geeks. No, this is the first, I think, mashup podcast that we've done. Like, I've been on yours and you've been on mine, and we've kind of blended.
Yeah.
But, I want to thank you guys for always allowing us to use you guys as our basically karaoke machine. Because anytime we want, and every time I ask you, I feel bad. And like Richie's like, yeah, man, we'll do it. And like, I wonder how much he was. Amory, was he complaining that we were all coming here today at 12?
Definitely not.
No, not at all.
I was very excited.
I think she's.
No,
lying
he was
on
actually
your
mad
behalf.
that I wasn't going to be around because I had a wedding. And then he was like, oh, yeah, it's at noon. I was like, oh, yeah. Why would I assume it's at noon? We always podcast at like 7 o'clock at night. But no, he was very excited. Very excited.
Yeah, and you guys have we haven't done an episode of our show for like months.
Really?
Yeah, it's been months. Like, this is the first one in a long time.
That's on you, bro.
Yeah, I know it's on me. I know, but at the same time, no one else asked me if we're doing it. It's like, I go like a month and a half, and no one's like, "Hey, we're gonna do one." If of all people, Franco asked me if we were doing one. I was like, "Wow, really?" But I was telling Chris I had a bit of a story to tell. I was waiting for our next show, but I had I had a little incident, a little health incident.
Oh no.
That I had where I'm fine now. Don't worry, it's nothing major. But I had this horrible pain in the lower left-hand side of my body, and I mean like really bad. And one night it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, watching TV on the couch, and I get that that feeling when you got to shit like. Really, like, you gotta shit now. Like, there's 2 different kinds of I gotta shit. Because I have to shit, and it's like, I have to shit now.
That's Richie like 4 times a day.
Right? So I get that feeling like I have to shit now, only nothing's happening. And it's getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm fucking sitting on the toilet, and it's just nothing's happening. So I go, I said, you know what? I'm gonna go back and lay on the couch. The pain is excruciating. So I stand up, and I say, okay, let me go back downstairs. And I get woken up from asleep from my wife, who's right in front of me, saying, I'm going to call 911. I'm calling 911. And I say, why? I was sleeping. And I look to my right, and the cat bowl is right next to me on the floor. So I had gotten up and actually passed out, collapsed, knocked over a small table in the hallway, and just fell and passed out cold.
Wow.
Like, out. So... now I'm naturally fucking freaking out. So I go, it was late enough that I was like, no emergency room. I feel better. We'll go to urgent care, whatever. So I see this Haitian doctor, and he's like pressing my stomach, and he's like, I'm sending you for a CAT scan. So so he sends me for a CAT scan. And usually when you get a CAT scan, they tell you, you're going to get the results. Your doctor will have them in 24 to 48 hours. So as he's prepping me for it, he says... Just so you know, we'll get the results to your doctor in about 24 to 48 hours. They'll call you. So I said, okay, great. So you do the CAT scan. And as I get changed and walking out, he says, Mr. Sprance, have a seat right there. You'll have the results in a few minutes. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. That's not good. Uh-oh. So I'm sitting in the waiting room. And I'm waiting and I'm waiting. And all of a sudden, one of the women behind the desk says, Mr. Sprance, answer that black phone on the wall. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I see there's a black phone ringing, and I'm walking up to it like at the slowest possible speed. And again, now in retrospect, I know what it is. But at the time, I don't know what the fuck I have. Right. So I'm like, hello? And there's a guy with a very heavy Indian accent on the other side. He says, Mr. Sprance, I just looked at your CAT scan. You have very serious diverticulitis, but you also have a perforation in your intestine. You need to go to the hospital right now. Like you could die, like right now. And I'm like,
Aren't I at the hospital?
What? No, I wasn't. No, I'm at a radiology place.
Okay.
So I say, so naturally, I'm curious and scared. So I say, well, how did they treat that? Is it with surgery or is it with antibiotics? And he goes, Mr. Sprance, every time you ask me another question, you are not in the hospital. You have potential to die. You need to go to the hospital now.
Oh my god!
Fuck. So I'm leaving, and I'm like, fuck. I guess I go to the hospital. And as I walk out, I think for a second. I walk up to the counter. I'm like, if there's any other place, then this is the best time. Excuse me, if you were going to go to any hospital, which one would you go to? So they tell me which one is like the cleanest and best.
Yeah.
So I go there, and one after another, these surgeons keep coming by, and they're poking. And I'm telling you, when you press, like, holy shit, like almost through the roof.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're going to give you something for the pain. I'm like, okay. And I'm again
Stop
in
poking me.
the emergency room. So they come over. She starts hooking up an IV. I'm like, what are you doing? We're gonna give you morphine. I'm like, I don't want. Just give me some ibuprofen or something. I don't want to be fucking stoned for this.
You turned down the morphine?
I did. I turned it down. I did because I don't want to be all fucked up. Like,
You guys have the Lauden or anything? Can I
wanna
have
know
a
what's
choice?
going on.
Or
Do I? What?
the Lauden or anything? Can I have a choice?
Yeah, right. Like, so one after another. So I bring the CAT scans with me. So one after another. I mean, I'm talking like 5 different people come, and they start asking me the same questions over and over again. Now, I'm not in the greatest of moods at the moment, so like after 4 times, I'm like, can you just talk to the other 4 people? They know we have to do this right. So he's like, and they keep saying, we're going to give you surgery, we have to. And then this woman comes to the last surgeon, and I say, I am feeling better, but if I have to stay, I'll stay. And whatever has to be done, of course, I'll do. But I want you to know, like, I do feel a lot better because they were pumping antibiotics and fluids in me, for a couple hours. So she says, so this is how the surgery goes. We're going to cut out a section of your colon. You're going to have a bag on the side. So anytime you go to the bathroom, it's going to go in the bag. And then you'll keep that for about 4 months. And then you'll come back, and then we'll reattach everything. And then you'll be okay. We'll cut out the piece that has it. So I said, is that what we have to do? She said, no. And I'm like, well, why would you tell me that? Why would you tell me that? So she's like, I just want to let you know that why you should take this so seriously. I said, believe me, I took it seriously when I passed out. Like, I don't need the whole backstory. So she's like, the little perforation in your intestine, if that opens up, it's a whole world of bad because just basically your shit just goes inside your body and you're done. Now, I shit a lot, but not to that level. So the bottom line was, like, I went home, but I didn't eat for days and days. And anybody who's been listening to our show knows that I've been doing this fitness boot camp, and I had lost like 15 pounds. And then I didn't eat for a week and change. So now all of a sudden, like, I'm losing even more weight. Now I'm like the opposite of that. I'll start eating again to put it on. Like, Chris saw me eating pretzels. I was like, can you eat those onion rings? I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to put on a couple more pounds. But that's that was the whole story. It was scary, dude.
So you didn't need the bag?
Huh?
You didn't need the bag?
No, I didn't need the bag. No, there's no bag on me.
And they
Like, I'm
didn't
not
do
gonna be
surgery on
jamming
you?
with a colostomy
Wait, did
bag.
they do surgery?
They didn't do surgery.
So
they
did it-
kept me. They kept me and just kept pumping me full of antibiotics and fluids.
So the perforation would heal itself.
They figured it was small enough, and like it took 5 different surgeons to keep looking at it. So
Are you sure you're not shitting inside yourself right
no,
now?
I am. I'm actually coming inside myself right now.
Well, he was always full of shit, but now
That's
You know what's funny? We've been trying not to go clean the last like 10 episodes, but we're back, people.
What did you
We're
think
back
was
on.
going to happen bringing us here? But yeah, so that was a wild little experience that I had for sure, and
crazy.
It's not the only reason why we didn't do shows for 2 months. Like, that's not a legitimate excuse. I've also been busy. with other
Laziness
shit.
factored into this.
That's part of it too. And again, no text from Chris ever. Hey, we're gonna do a show. So like nobody seems to care except for me. But that's what happened to me. So how's your colon been, Rick?
Robust.
What he said.
You just made me terrified because I have the same thing.
You have diverticulitis.
Yeah.
You have diverticulosis, right? Which means that it's never turned into
diverticulitis.
Diverticulitis is when it gets infected.
Yeah.
Have you had that?
No, but I have the pockets.
Yeah.
Like, I have
So
the little,
you gotta, I don't even know what. I think you keep them for good too. It's nice. It's like a little new thing that you have. It's like a chia pet. Like you always have it, and just nobody throws it in the garbage.
Like herpes.
Like
yeah,
it's
man,
kind of like herpes. That's a good point. It is.
So the reason that you guys are here today is you do, and I've heard you do quite a few of these. How many karaoke episodes have you done?
We've done maybe
3.
four,
Somewhere around there.
If we don't count the times that you guys come and we treat you like karaoke, then we go with 4.
So
I think
they
3 to
do.
4.
If you go on RiotCast.com and you listen to the whole, you will see.
Great name, by the way.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and
It's
check out-
actually the glory hole.
We went back?
You went back?
Yeah, it depends on who I'm talking to.
Okay,
If I'm at a family function, hey, I have a show called The Hole.
the whole.
Yeah, it's good now. We've set it up so that it's kind of called both. So when I'm inviting a guest on, I'm like, hey, how you doing? We'd love to interview you. The show's called The Hole. But at the same time, if it's like this guy, I'm like, yeah, welcome to Glory Hole, motherfuckers. We have a little both. So
All right.
classed it up. a
So
little.
on the whole/glory hole, if you go to the website, at riotcast.com/glory hole.
/ the hole or / the glory hole.
Okay.
Either one.
you will see the previous episodes, and you'll get to hear the talent pool they're dealing with.
And that includes us.
Talentless pool.
And
But
you know,
I-
Richie, you made a comment about how we do our karaoke. You were very surprised that we have absolutely no processing on vocals or anything,
No,
which
it's
is true.
it's very dry. The vocals very up front, and to be honest, not all of them are the two gentlemen that are here right now, Chris and Rob, are the ones that have the musical talent out of your cast. To be honest,
I was also on a karaoke episode, so
Yes, Jared was on there too.
So okay, let me.
As he said.
I'm
Statement
sorry.
still stands.
I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. So Chris and Rob are the only two members of.
I lobbed you that softball. That was an underhand slow pitch.
So
Wait a minute, I'm starting to think that was a hidden dig.
And we also just do it. Like, we just fucking plug it in and we just do it, and then that's
Right.
it. However it comes out,
Right.
you're done. That's it.
So but like for example, the thing you really want to hear is like they have a guy in their show named Mr. Peepee
Yes.
who has absolute.
Very true.
Where's this show been all my life?
Welcome to the hole.
Mr. P in the hole.
Yes, we do.
And Mr. Peepee has zero tone
I think negative is
processing
more of a...
tone processing.
I
He
think
has
negative.
no idea what pitch he's singing whatsoever. The ladies do okay.
Yes, they do.
You know what I mean? Also, they're both hot, so it doesn't really matter. They can do
Doesn't
whatever they
care,
want.
yeah. Doesn't matter.
Great
So,
job. Great job.
yeah, great, yeah, good, solid.
That's how we feel about Jared when he sings. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, he's hot. So
But they really,
I like them
really
big.
don't do anything to help them. They keep the vocal way up front. You know what I mean? A lot of the times they're not really too rehearsed, and they pick very difficult songs to sing.
yes, and
You know
you're
what I mean?
also under the impression that I put any work into these at all, which
That's
I don't.
what
So
karaoke
it's-
is.
Like, there's not even any thought where I say,
why you do it
let
when
me
you're drunk.
adjust the levels. I just turn it on. It's laziness more than anything else.
That's
So-
how we did our first the second CTV show.
Oh yeah.
I'm basically I'm the opposite of you in every production value you can imagine.
Everyone gets to
not
I'm
true.
like your opposite.
They pick
He's
their
full
own
of crap.
songs too. So if someone picks a incredibly hard song, well then you're just a fucking idiot.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I've done. I picked a Taylor Swift song once, and as it was going on, I'm like, what did I do?
Okay, so just I want to go around the room real quick. Say we're all at a karaoke bar, and what's your go-to karaoke song? Let me make a huge mistake and ask Andy first.
Well, and you have to play every one of them then on the piano. You gotta force a little couple seconds of.
Oh, yeah, fine, yeah, that's a good idea.
Oh, you are Lionel Richie.
Oh,
that's my
a good
go-to.
Go. All right,
Oh,
Andy,
that's a
let's
good
hear
song.
He's not singing it now.
So it's our-
Oh, we're singing it now.
All of a sudden, it's turned into encore.
it. This is what happens with that.
That makes my life a fool. It's the wrong key. It's B flat. B flat.
You are the sun. You are the rain. That makes my life this foolish green. You need to know I love you so, and I'll do it all again and again. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Nice.
This is the kind of shit I could do all day. You guys do it and don't think twice about it. Like, I could just sit here all day and do it.
Are you happy I had an
What would
answer?
you do?
I'm not happy. I'm astounded that you had an answer. Hey Brandy, when you guys were in the car over here, did you say, Andy, Richie's probably going to ask you what your karaoke song is, so think of a freaking answer now, so you don't stand there like a jackass like you do every other time.
Just now, I told him. As
Good.
you asked the question, I told him.
So what's yours, Vinny?
So,
What Frank Sinatra song is yours?
Billy Joel
I
song.
have a great story
What
about
William
things, so
Joel
go on.
song?
it's
Go on,
fun.
Vin.
It's fun that he said Lionel Richie because this next song is written by Lionel
Okay.
Richie and Michael Jackson.
Oh, hey.
I know what song.
I
I know what song this is.
There comes a time
Nice.
when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one. There are people dying, oh, and it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. We can't go on pretending day by day that someone somewhere will soon make a change. We are all a part of God's great big family. family, Billy Joel. And the truth, you know love is all we need. Bruce Springsteen. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones make better days. Let's start giving. Oh, there's a choice. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true we make better days, and it's just you and me.
Vin, please tell everybody what happened on the cruise.
When I
Please
did
tell
that
everyone right now.
with that song,
Yeah, who did that?
Okay,
with
so
you?
like, pause. Vin and Anne Marie and one of the bands they play with, they did a cruise for the Impractical Jokers, which is a show on True TV, hilarious show. But they do a annual cruise, and they're one of the house bands. So
yeah,
continue.
it was awesome. It was
Nice.
there were
So
three-
they have this thing called, I don't have headphones, I don't know what I sound like right now, but they have this thing called Karaoke Killed the Cat. So all our Staten Island listeners who are around the cargo scene, I want to say like 10 years ago or so, Karaoke Killed the Cat was a huge thing. I think it was Tuesday or Thursday nights. But anyway, they did Karaoke Killed the Cat every night. And one night,
So one night, I Joey Fatone from NSYNC was the host of
Joey Fat One?
Joey Fat One. And so I'm like, of course I'm gonna milk this and do a song that has a lot of vocals and
Right in
it's
front
really
of
long, so I have a lot of stage time. And,
you really thought this
I'm
through.
gonna rope Joey into doing it with me. So
That's great.
by the way, like when the Impractical Jokers do Karaoke Kill the Cat, they don't give the person who sings karaoke a chance to sing the whole song. Like they all have to sing it with them,
Oh,
which makes
okay.
it kind of fun because now like there's this girl from Arkansas is now singing
Ain't no mountain high enough.
right or like it's gonna be me with
Yeah.
Joey Fatone
Yeah.
and Joey and Sal
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
they're all having fun. So there's like 5 microphones on the stage and me and Joey Fatone are going back and forth doing the voices,
That's pretty awesome.
cracking each other up. It was really cool.
That's
So-
pretty cool.
That's
It was-
awesome.
Yeah,
It
and
was- it
they're
was
not
a lot of
out
fun.
on stage the whole time too. It's like they'll like make an appearance, the place explodes. I remember I was sitting upstairs. It was maybe 3:00 in the morning one of the nights. I'm sitting upstairs because it was the only place I could get food, and I'm talking with one of my other bandmates, and I hear a Billy Joel song come on. I go, it's probably Vin. I turn around, I look at the stage, it's freaking Vin. So when you made me right, I was like,
The show had been over for about a half hour at that point.
I'm still in the
So, Andy Graziano, what's your go-to karaoke
Let's
song?
see, I'm sending my love down the well, all the way down. No, that's the Simpsons
That's
version.
The Simpsons.
Timmy O'Toole. I don't really know. Maybe Mandolin Rain by Bruce Hornsby.
Really?
I don't know. I'm thinking if I was to do it again, I'd probably start with that one. Or yeah, actually, the one time I ever did karaoke, and it was a very bad decision, or whoever let me do it, I actually did Valley Girl by Frank Zappa.
Oh my God, that's a karaoke track.
It was I found it was at some place on by 14th Street and like Avenue A or something like that. I forget what it was called. I did that. Like you weren't supposed to do like the Moon Unit like rap parts, but that's what I did. I was like, so anyway, my mother like makes me do the dishes. It's like somebody else's food. Now it's like grody to the max. I do like this whole stuff. People are like looking at their watches. When will this idiot be done?
So, okay.
Yeah.
So we can't play that.
Moving
what's
around. We should just go to somebody else.
Jarrett,
now.
what's yours?
I have 2.
Of course you do.
Of course. When I lived in Chicago, I actually hosted for a band called the Hootenanners live band karaoke, which is pretty much what we're doing now. But we used to play a lot at a place called Peace, which was a bar owned by Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick.
Yep.
They served nothing but peas.
And one time I was doing it, it would always be like, if you've never done live band karaoke, it's the same thing as regular karaoke. It goes a little bit like this. And I would always open with "Lady" by Styx.
Nice.
But then it turned into Rick Nielsen's like favorite thing. So every time he was there, he's like, "Lady." Lady, when you're with me, I'm smiling. Give me, whoa, your love. We can stop there.
Never heard that song before.
No?
Who's that by?
Six.
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
But my
That the air supply stumped you before, also, right?
But my weird actual go-to karaoke song is the song I actually did on the whole episode of karaoke where I did, which is "Kiss from a Rose" by Seal.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. He did do that,
Produced
yeah.
by Yes's own Trevor Horn.
There used to be a great flower.
I don't know the words.
We're bouncing ball, Jack.
The good thing about karaoke is the words come
The
out.
words.
You know what's nice about live band karaoke? Live band karaoke, if you suck, the tape can actually stop itself.
So, Amory, what's yours? I know you hate karaoke.
I don't do karaoke.
I beg to differ. I see a video of you singing
If I, all
Celine
right,
Dion.
I forced her to do that, by the
he
way.
actually forced me to do that. That was forced. And we were also in Hawaii, so.
You know what? It was such a dickhead moment for me because we're in a sushi restaurant and like this one girl sings and everyone's like, "Oh, she's so good." I'm like,
She ain't good.
I'm like, Amory, go over there.
Sick of
Like I turn into my dad because my dad does stuff like that, and I hate when he does stuff like that. Like, all right, quick question, a quick story. I think I told this on the Hanan episode, but my dad said, "Richie, we're at the NAMM show. Come with me. George Benson's gonna be doing like a little like demo of his new guitar, and it's like a very closed thing. Not a lot of people are coming." Okay. So I'm standing there in front of my dad, and George Benson's out, and he's playing, and he goes, "Anybody want to try the guitar?" I felt a hand shove me, and I stumbled forward. He goes, "Oh, hey, man, here, play my guitar."
Oh,
and I
well,
turned
that's kinda
around,
cool.
and I looked at my dad like, "You motherfucker!" And he's going, "Play the guitar in front of George Benson." It's like, okay.
But
anyway.
you know what? Like, aren't you glad you did it now?
No! It was horrifying. But then my friend Hanan, who was on the show, who knows George Benson, I told him the story. He goes, "Yeah, I saw someone videoed it and put it on YouTube." I said, "Oh no!" He said, "I was like, was it bad?" He goes, "You were fine," which was his nice way of saying, "Yes, it was bad."
How long ago was that?
It was like 2-3 years ago.
That was like.
Oh, I thought you meant like when you were in high school or something.
Nope.
You did that.
No, well, the difference between then and now is I still can't play jazz, so it doesn't really matter. It could have been high school.
What's jazz?
So anyway, Amory, go on. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't really like to do karaoke, but if I do, which has been probably 3 occasions. Once when we were in Hawaii, once for Steve Korn's birthday in the city at Sing Sing.
Oh my
and
God,
then
that
once in
tiny
New
room.
Orleans when you two got married, when Brandy and Andy got married. So I'll generally go for either really cheesy Disney songs. So like I'll do A Whole New World or something like that, depending. We did that at Steve Korn's birthday, A Whole New World. That's when we started that whole thing.
Yeah.
Suddenly Seymour is a go-to. Like all cheesy musical theater stuff. Or like, super 90s boy bandy stuff. Like something that makes no sense.
Talk. I talk to you.
Which we learned there's really, being in a 90s cover band for a week, there's really nothing to those songs. It's the same stuff over and over for 9.5 minutes.
What about Don't Let Go?
Oh, that was so dope. I don't
so
karaoke
good.
that, but
good.
that was so good. That was so good.
What about you, Brandy?
Usually it's only when I'm super drunk that someone puts something on and forces me to sing. Sometimes it's Firework. Sometimes it's a random
Fireworks. That's
a random 90s song. No, I can't sing Firework. I can sing one note in Firework, but that's it. But yeah, it's not a voluntary thing.
All right. So now let's get on to the special guests today. And now I'm sure you have go-to
Special,
karaoke.
like retarded special.
Yeah, like what? No. What's your you don't care who's what it sounds like karaoke song?
I don't sing karaoke either. I've done the ones on the show a bunch of times, and I think there have only been like 2 other times I've sung karaoke, and I've done Spin Doctors, 2 Princes.
Oh, I
That's
love
a good
that.
song.
Because that was just like the 90s, fucking 90s.
D.
1, 2, Princes kneel before you. That's what I said now. Princes who adore you. Just go ahead now. This one, something.
Yeah, the difference with karaoke is the lyrics are on the screen.
Right, but then the next part, that's the only reason why I sing the song is for that part, because that's just amazing.
What about you, Robert?
Usually either I'll throw down a U2 or Beatles is what I always get accused of by Chris that I do too much.
Oh, you stay in your wheelhouse?
Yeah, well, to a point. Yeah, I do.
Beatles, Oasis.
Well, U2's not exactly always easy. It's like I'll do With or Without You, which is not really a karaoke friendly. Is that what you were doing?
Sing it to me. Sing it to me.
Do you want me to sing to you?
Thank you.
Now would be a good time to put the
wanna sing
bouncing
this
ball at the bottom of the screen if you got one of those.
See the stone set in your eyes. Hear the thorn twist in your side. I'll wait for you. Doesn't exactly get people going. Slide of hand and twist of fate. On a bed of nails, she makes me wait. And I wait without you. With or without you. With or without you. I can't live. With or without you. That's it.
Take it up, take it up, take it up, take it up.
Andy, you played that surprisingly well.
I know.
I wonder why.
Like
I was not prepared to do that.
almost like you get paid to play U2 songs.
Sometimes.
So, Andy, if people want to come see you play U2 on the drums, is there a venue for them to do that?
Yeah, you could look on the internets for the band, the website, not U2.
That's great.
Is that really the name?
The band is called To You.
Oh, that's Joe Kumi.
He plays with Joe Cooley.
Oh, cool, very cool.
Okay. Oh, I guess I didn't do mine. You guys
Yeah.
know what mine is.
I don't.
You don't.
For me.
He came from somewhere back in long ago. Sentimental fool don't. That's my one, but you guys have heard me do that plenty of times.
That's what I thought you were gonna do.
If
No,
you
give it to me,
haven't,
baby.
go
No,
back
I-
to Richie's YouTube channel
Yeah,
and you
I
can
know,
see our
right, yeah.
actual music video for it.
Do you know what my new one is though? It's I was as wrong as I could be to let you get away
Nice.
from me. I regret that. Don't even try to cop the chords. There's me and Andy play a game with that song. There's 17 modulations in it. Never gonna let you go.
I'm gonna.
We're doing that on an episode.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, you are. Oh, that's fucking.
No, but it's gonna be one of those like.
hold you in my arms forever.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those. Me and Andy record it, and then but we're gonna have a counter in the corner with all the modulations.
That's a great idea.
So let's get to it. So the reason of the reason for today's show is that we're gonna be the backing band for your karaoke, and we rehearsed this before. And full disclosure, I'm a little disappointed because I thought this was gonna be like comically bad, but these guys practiced, which is no fair. So.
Well, you know, there's a big difference between the run through and the real deal. So we haven't really done anything as of yet. Also, you know, it's the first time that we've played an instrument on any kind of karaoke at all,
Yeah,
right?
for
So
sure.
like we're both playing
There's a
guitar.
whole layer
both
of
of
complexity added
Yeah.
to this.
Yeah, and to give you an idea of what happens in my head versus you guys, you probably listened to the song twice, didn't even pick up an instrument, and were like, okay, I got it. So
Yeah, verse, chorus, got it.
yeah, meanwhile, I'm standing in my underwear at like 2 o'clock in the morning last night doing this song over and over and over again and debating whether to text you, I won't play guitar, I will play guitar, I won't play guitar. And I just kept going and
Then
going.
you got a
So
pain.
God only knows. What happened? Yeah, I'm going to have a
and he's
diverticulitis
pooping
attack
into his
during-
bloodstream, and it's
Right, exactly.
Yeah, this will be the first time that I've performed and sang for someone who's not my 2-year-old in 2 years. So it'll be an interesting
I bet you we're a
audience.
less critical audience.
She tells me to stop now. She'll walk over, put her hand on the neck of the car and go, "No more guitar, Daddy." Okay,
You
great.
know what? I have nieces, 5 and 2, and if me and Henry start doing a tune, they go, "No, we want to hear the radio version, not
oh,
your
wow.
version." Whoa.
And it's usually Anne Marie that
Cutthroat.
goes over and puts her hand on your guitar and goes, "No more guitar." Rick."
No more guitar daddy.
True modern
So,
consumer.
Wait till they learn the joke.
Who's going to go first? Which one of you guys wants to go first?
Do you guys first?
Age before beauty, right?
Oh, please. I have a little of both right now. What do you want to go first? Or?
If you want me to, yeah, sure.
I don't know. I mean, you already got
I'm
the
already
mic
erect,
stand up.
so I might as well.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Okay, so which tune would you like to play first?
Let's go with Tom Petty first.
Okay.
All right.
And we're also gonna I'm gonna sing background.
Yeah,
music.
yeah,
Chris
everybody
is
can
on
sing. Yeah. Speaking of backgrounds, let's go over those real quick. So it's.
Well, missing something, right?
That was me.
Yeah. So ready? 1, 2, so boom. I want back down, baby.
There ain't no easy way out.
I want back down. Yeah. Good. We got that. I won't back down. Okay.
What do you need?
The cable.
Oh, you want to plug in too? You show off.
Totally.
We're gonna go song for song, or are you gonna go two and?
We'll see. We'll figure it. Well, let's see. Depending on how well he does, this might be his last song today. So we'll see.
There's an eject button. Right
Last
Yeah.
song ever.
Yeah, 3 Bud Lights have been pounded since the first rehearsal for Chris.
I
so
wouldn't say
I'm
pounded.
gonna say. I don't know. They existed, then they don't.
3 Bud Lights down.
Yes, today's episode is brought to you by Bud Light and Ricola.
Okay. What's the tempo of this?
That was it.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wait, hold on, wait. Sorry.
Did we start recording?
Sit down, Chris.
That was my fault. All right, 1, 2. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down. You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. No, I'll stand my ground. Won't be turned around. And I'll keep this world from dragging me down. Gonna stand my ground, and I won't back down. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out. Hey, I will stand my ground, and I won't back down. Well, I
Balls in your court, Mr. Sprance.
Nice. Nice.
Wow.
Very nice. Very nice.
Shot across the bow.
Expertly done.
Yeah, I like how you try to lay down the gauntlet on me. You know what? Let me get my acoustic and take you guys to an island of the sun.
I'll take you to another place.
Oh, I see what he did there.
Very good, Chris. Good job.
Dude.
Thank
Impressive.
you. Great job, band.
Very nice.
I'm heartbroken. That's a Tom Petty joke.
Oh.
Tom Petty and
It's too soon.
That's why I'm in the corner today.
Stay in the corner and stop with your jokes.
Certainly a Tom Petty reference. I don't know.
Are you in tune? Just give me a chord. That's good enough.
Close a better life.
You're not going to notice the difference.
All right. So the song you selected.
Yeah, so we both selected two. So unfortunately, you're going to get more.
All right.
This one is Island in the Sun by Weezer, which is just a cool song. So this one I'm going to sit for, but the rocker later, oh, I'm standing.
So you're just trying to give some like dynamic showmanship to what we're doing.
I try to do that in life. Richard.
Okay. Yes.
Just in general. But yes, that's exactly what I'm trying
Do you have a wardrobe change for today?
No, I just take all my clothes off. Okay. It's like a G.G. Allen kind of thing that I have going.
He practices in an underwear, so he
I
sings.
did practice in my underwear last
underwear.
night. That's what makes it.
I often thought.
That's what makes it rock and roll.
Let
me tell you. Let me give you an example of how rock and roll that I am.
Yes.
I ironed the shirt. To come yesterday. So
Can we talk about that shirt for a second?
That's
Now
a
that you
rock
mentioned
star
it, can
shirt.
we-
You don't like the shirt?
So you had posted something on Instagram.
No, this is not the one.
There was a poll about whether or not you should buy a
The
shirt.
black
or not.
shirt, yeah.
That was the black shirt. but this is the floral print
67% said yes, by the way.
Okay.
And I did, but I had already bought it before I got the results.
So you felt confident enough in the pattern on this shirt to buy it on your own.
I
but
like the shirt because
the
I-
all black shirt.
Yeah,
people.
let me tell you something. I want to dare to be different. So you go ahead and wear your hoodie. I'm gonna stand there.
Dare to be stupid.
No, what are
Sounds
the little
Weird Al
patterns
Post.
on your shirt? Is that Doritos or something?
No, I don't. It doesn't really have any like. It's not like tiny little amoebas or anything.
Okay.
It's like just patterns.
He's like a
It's
wasp.
like a quartz countertop.
See, it's one thing when I'm talking to you, but when I play and sing with this, it's all gonna make sense.
Yeah, it'll all come together.
Exactly.
I got you.
That's what you need to
The
understand.
sex comes out.
Right. The sex is gonna come out. Exactly. As a matter of fact,
It oozes from your perforation.
if anyone
Do I
is,
need to move?
if anyone is pregnant when you're listening to this, you're going to get twins by the time the song is over.
Brendan. All right. So let's do this song. It's like a licking.
I can just come lick you in the middle of the song.
All right, I got
So
it.
get ready for that.
Yeah. You start, right?
All right.
Hip, hip. Hip, hip. Hip, hip. Hip, hip. When you're on a holiday, you can't find the words to say all the things that come to you, and I wanna feel it too. On an island in the sun, we'll be playing and having fun, and it makes me feel so fine I can't control my brain. Hip, hip. Hip, hip. When you're on a golden sea, you don't need a memory, just a place to call your own as we drift into the zone. On an island in the sun, we'll be playing and having fun, and it makes me feel so fine I can't control my brain.
spend some time forever. We'll never feel bad anymore. Hip, hip. We'll never feel bad anymore. No, no. We'll never feel bad anymore. No, no. No, no, no.
What chord did we just end on? Good enough.
Did anyone else notice the rock and roll strum there?
I'd
Going
like to
into-
thank my shirt.
It really did a nice job.
I'm just kind of upset that we don't have like a babbling brook in the background or like
I know.
horses running.
Instantly,
or-
everyone just started bobbing once that
It's just
song
like you
started.
can't help it with that song.
I was on the stairs, bobbing.
There you
It
go.
happens.
It
So,
actually drew me down the stairs.
how are you gonna respond to that, Chris?
Yeah. What do you got? What do you got?
I mean, I think the only play is 80s.
Okay.
I think that's
You
the
wanna-
only
Can you hang this?
So you're gonna go low, huh?
time I've done that.
When they go low,
We get high.
does that go here?
Sure.
Why the hell not?
You gonna be okay with that back there?
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Don't blame me. Blame the real estate market in Staten Island.
when I saw Weezer a couple of years ago at PNC with Blink, they opened for Blink and they destroyed Blink 182, by the way. But
Weezer opened up for Blink 182.
Of course they
yeah,
would.
that was like
Seem
the
right.
that was like the Blink reunion, so like they were like the hot thing.
Yeah.
Who asked for that?
I don't know, some promoter somewhere. But
It didn't say it on the ticket. They were just like, and here's Blink 182. People were like, really?
But when it came time for Island in the Sun, the whole band left the stage except for Rivers, and he looped the song. He went to the drums first, played the drum
Nice.
beat, looped it, played the acoustic, looped it, played the bass, looped it, then picked up the electric, and he played the whole song together. And then slowly the band came out on stage for the bridge.
That's pretty cool.
So it was cool to watch
Yeah.
him like construct it.
Yeah, that's
when he started
very cool.
playing the drums, it sounded like Billie Jean at first because it's the same thing.
Oh, because it's the same beat. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he built it. It was really cool
Wait,
to
that's
watch.
what I thought I was singing. Actually, I just,
That's what I thought, too.
just did such a bad job. It became another song.
And that's
All right.
Rick Ocasek.
Yeah.
Yeah, that for the first one. Yeah.
Can you
that on
make it a little dirty?
Oh yeah. Sorry about that.
So who here loves the Pretty Woman soundtrack?
Are you in tune?
Because
Is that on the Pretty Woman soundtrack?
yeah. So Chris is about
The
to.
fact that you know that, Jared,
Enough.
is another concern.
Oh
Is that Richard Gere?
yes.
Yeah, right.
All right. So you picked a really tough one. I'm very impressed and curious to see how you do this one.
Let's
This-
not
this
be
is a
too
tough
impressed,
vocal.
okay? You know,
Let's wait till we play.
It's a bold choice. That's what I'm trying to say. Bold choice.
We will say though that every time somebody heard this song, it was like, oh, I like that song.
It's an earworm, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just like to let you guys know if it goes well by the second verse, I am gonna stick my finger in Chris's ass to see if we can get a reaction. Kind of like when my cat they took
sing it even
I took
higher.
my cat to the vet and they put my cat down and they said okay and they put the thermometer in, my cat just went. This is the exact noise I want to get out of him.
Yeah, but Chris doesn't live in a tent in your yard.
You don't know that.
All right, Andy, I believe you start this. Are you guys all ready?
That
Hold
crap-
on.
that crap
Andy's
snare sound
Andy's
is
very
telling me
proud of
one
the drum
thing.
set that I might replace later. So let's listen to it right now, real quick. Ooh.
Can we
Show
get
everybody the
can we get a
whole
tambourine test?
Look at that.
2 tambourines.
Look at the joy on his
I
face.
know, I love
He's very impressed with himself.
Pleased.
All right, let's do it.
I can't stop the way I feel. Things you do
I think I got a new song to do at karaoke's. Should I ever go to one again?
That was really good.
Good job, dude. Good job.
Okay, he did it.
Thanks, geeks.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for you to recover from that one, Rob.
Well, you know what? The only way to really recover from something like that is to just fucking rock out Power Pop. Is the way to go.
Rob, how's your falsetto, Rob?
Richie, you should actually love that song because it's very like Katharine Hepburn in the middle. It's like
No one else.
He's a sucker.
very Bee Gees, Katharine Hepburn.
That's true. So I guess this is gonna be the last tune of the show.
Yeah, but we'll probably make you do 38 more counts before it's done.
Well, Vinny has a gig to go to right after this, so this is gonna have to be the last tune.
You know, in my mind, when I practiced this yesterday, I was jumping around the room, and then I realized that we're going to be in like a phone booth setting.
Yeah,
here.
sorry.
So it's going to be like, I'm going to do my best.
There's no rocking out in the
move as
basement,
much as I can.
unfortunately.
Yeah, so I've always been a big fan of Matthew Sweet, especially when he does 3 to 4 minute just rock out catchy songs, and this is always one that I really liked. And then I told you about it before I actually tried to do it.
Right.
So now that I've tried to do it,
Now you're committed.
We're gonna see exactly. I don't have a choice now. I'm in on it now.
All right. You started off, right?
Yep, I do. Wait, what did Chris do to my guitar? Let me make sure this is right.
He sabotaged
Okay.
it.
Rocked with it. I think that's
Just
what
making sure.
shredded.
Just making sure. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Deconstruct me and consume me. I'm all used up. I'm out of luck. I am starstruck by
guys represented yourselves very well here. Like I said, I feel a little gypped. I thought I was going to hear some awful singing and playing, but I heard very, very competent, very good singing and playing.
Well, I was
you
gonna,
bastards.
Well, I was gonna do the song I told I was gonna do instead of the Matthew Sweet was Linkin Park's "What I've Done" was my first choice.
Right.
That may have gone wrong. That may have gone very wrong. There's a lot of
I
screaming.
had also floated My Sharona, but that didn't end
That's
up
true.
working
Richie
out.
Nick's is like 22 minutes of the same.
You know the problem is when you first think about My Sharona, you go sure. Right.
The bridge though goes on for like 5 minutes.
There's like an 8-minute guitar solo.
I'm like, I could play that, and then I think, wait a minute. You look at your iPhone and go, why is this song 7 minutes long? If it's just it's that whole like.
What any other ones that you were gonna pick that you didn't?
I was thinking of One by U2. I was thinking that
That's
one
right.
also.
We both sang that once with Richie, I think. Yeah, I was also thinking of going completely different, and there was a '60s one, "Sugar Sugar" by the Archies.
Oh, yeah. Written by a Staten Islander.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
You got a lot
Ron
of
Dante.
back knowledge on that.
Yeah, he does.
Okay,
It's great.
He knows his shit.
It's great.
I research every possible scenario, so I have it ready.
I was also considering
Damn it, he's gonna mention Sugar Sugar. I have to know Ron Dante.
Wicked Garden, Stone Temple Pilots,
Oh,
but
that's a good
my
one, too.
voice just doesn't fit enough. It's too much tenor, not enough baritone. So.
It's a theme. It's a theme of the songs.
That's
you
the
pick.
other thing. Like in your head, it's always a good idea until you try it once or twice. I'm trying to think of what other ones there was that I wanted to do it. There was the Styx one too, "Come Sail Away," but I know Jared. That's
You did that on actual karaoke.
I did. I did
think,
it on
yeah.
our regular karaoke, so that
Right.
got dismissed.
Well,
I was gonna give you a Justin Timberlake song at one point, but this is where we've landed.
I'm glad we did because this was pretty easy for us.
We landed.
Well, that was the other thing I
Wheels
kept in
down,
mind.
baby. High five.
Yeah, you guys pulled it off.
Absolutely.
How about a nice round of applause for our guests today, Rob Sprance and Chris Fortney. So if they want to see you guys, follow you on Twitter, where do they go?
You go to RiotCast.com or follow us on Twitter. You go to Rob Sprance on Twitter.
Yeah, and you are.
I think I'm still on Twitter. Maybe
You
it's
are. As you can tell, like it's gonna be hell of a feed.
the whole Chris. Maybe I don't
The
know.
whole Chris.
I
He's
never
the whole
tweeted.
Chris.
Don't follow me. I don't tweet.
Weren't you Fortney Love for a while?
I'd
be a
do
better
that.
place.
That's what it
I don't
says, but the handle's the whole Chris.
I don't have time for social media.
It's very important. man.
Social media.
I'm just taken back. I thought the guitars hanging in Rob's house came with the house.
Decoration.
They're just always there. Like when we recorded his house, they're just in the background. I was like, what do you do with those?
Rob has a picture frame in his house with the pictures in it that come in the picture frame when you buy the picture frame.
He's absolutely right. So
Who's this really attractive black family in this picture frame?
yeah, that's actually true. It was a gift.
Have a wide circle of friends.
It's like it's like a picture frame, but also like you open it up and you can store stuff inside it. And I hung it up. It looked really nice. I said eventually I'll go to pick all the
Wait,
pictures.
is this a true story?
It's a true
Yes,
story.
yes, it's in his house.
So I told them like everybody came to the house. We did an episode of The Hole at my house. We had a barbecue, and I told them anybody. And Jarrett was mad because he had something to do with it.
At a wedding,
And
unfortunately.
they were pointing out different weird things, like as you do to go to anybody's house. And I said, "There's one Easter egg in this house. If anybody can find it, there's something here that's very, very strange."
That's
and
a
that's
miss.
what it is. Yeah. So, and it's still to this day has photos that came with the frame because I've never gone around.
It's friends with the Chinese doctor family.
I heard a story.
It looks
once.
the whole thing looks like a Benetton ad. Like it's the most like diverse thing.
Girl on the beach.
Before I flush it with all
You know
white
the
people.
the movie producer Brian Grazer.
Yeah.
Apparently, his thing is like if he goes to house parties, he brings like a small framed picture of himself and leaves it like in the house
That's
somewhere.
excellent.
That's a great idea.
That's something that I've always wanted to do.
Yeah,
I just
Mike
never
Wolf.
thought
That
of
is
it.
such a great idea.
I did that for Andy and Brandy's wedding gift. I gave them money, and I gave them, instead of writing a check, I gave them stacks of singles. So I gave them $200 in singles, and then
It's a very Jewish thing to do.
I printed out singles on a color printer and put my face on them, and then put them in the middle of the stack.
That's great.
And then
minute.
Brandy manages a restaurant in Brooklyn, and she was just like, "Oh look, we got all these singles. I'll just trade them out and put them in the register." And then somebody was giving change, and they were like, "There's fake money in this stack."
How long did it take to find that? It was
Like a week.
Like months after.
Like a week.
I did something when my sister got married because my brother-in-law had never seen Star Wars, my younger sister, and I thought that was disgraceful that she was bringing someone into the family who hadn't seen the movie. So when it was time to give them a wedding gift, I gave them the Star Wars 6 box set, right? And no cash, and they were just like, it's Richie, he's weird, whatever. No one was mad at me, but my mother knew that I put like $1,000 inside the box. You know what I mean? So it's like
Somebody better open that.
Yeah, so
otherwise it's gonna sit there collecting
so
dust.
after the wedding, ever just settled down, my mom's opening the presents, like the gifts for my sister, and Lauren goes, "Oh look, Richie got a Star Wars. That's cool." And she was so sweet, didn't want to call me an asshole. Yeah. And my mother was sitting there going, like, Mom, this is something I'm supposed to find out in 12 years.
She couldn't hold it in.
She couldn't hold it. That was my joke. I'm gonna wait and go to the house. Say, "Oh, I see you haven't opened Star Wars yet." Okay.
It's like the rainy day fund.
Exactly.
Rob, is there something in your house that somebody bought you as a gift and you're like, "Oh, thank you," and then you have to put it out every single time they come because you don't have it out normally?
That's usually me, actually. I get put out before. No, I don't think so. No, not really. I don't get many housewarming gifts.
Or guests.
There's a lot of Richie's actually right. I don't have any guests. Yes, that's a very good point.
That's a true point. He does not invite people over.
That's true. But I did it. I did have the barbecue, but I was guilted into it. But I did do it, and it was a good time. But you couldn't make it because you had some kind of
I'm sorry. Stupid people get stupid married because they're in stupid love with each other.
You're always at a wedding, Mom. Seriously.
I officiate them.
He does, and he's really good at it. Speaking of which, if you want something a little different at your wedding, and you want a customized experience, you don't want to go with the regular priest, rabbi, gender-neutral officiant. You want to have something
get all
special.
Of them together.
You want to have.
You can get all of that.
What am I, a Ken doll?
Do you
I just have daisies instead of genitalia?
No, I know that's not true. But if you want something custom tailored, do you like Star Wars? Do you like Star Trek? The Simpsons? Family Guy? If you want cues from Harry Potter, if you want pop culture to be part of your wedding ceremony, what you want to do is contact Jared Pressman. He will make a wedding ceremony customized just for you, and it'll be unforgettable.
Do you really do
something your family members will be talking about
awesome.
amongst themselves quietly for the whole duration of the dinner.
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
I don't give him compliments a lot because he doesn't deserve them, but he's really excellent at this.
What about what's the weirdest? What's the weirdest one you've ever done?
It was outside and it was raining and I was making all these jokes. The thing is I'll personalize it for the bride and groom, so I'll make little references and stuff like that. And one of them was the couple really, really liked The Nightmare Before Christmas. So I was throwing all these lyrics in there and things, and the audience was just I don't know.
Staring at you.
I don't know. The one I saw him do, he almost did a stand-up routine, and it was hilarious. It was captivating. It was really good. Yeah.
The funny thing about that is the first thing that I say at every single wedding is something I stole from an actual priest at a wedding that I went to, which he goes, "Hi, my name is Jared Pressman. I'm going to be officiating the ceremony today between Richie and Anne-Marie. The ceremony should take about 10 to 15 minutes. I just find that people like to know that." And I was like, that's genius.
I do like to know that.
Yeah.
I know, it's
When
so
I'm
true.
sitting behind the piano, what am I in for?
The question is always, is it a mass? Because if it's a mass, you're not getting out of there. Right?
Well, because
10 to 15 minutes, there's a sigh of
every wedding I've ever gone to was always I now pronounce you man and wife. Now Susan is going to come up and sing a passage from Corinthians. Another 45 minutes.
All right, so here's a question. How close do you need to be to go to church and reception versus just reception?
Oh.
You need to be at least first cousin.
I thought you meant geographically speaking.
No. Well, that's another thing too. But
That's why you're married.
Yeah, because there's some places that do both in the same place, which is the best of
That's
both
what
worlds.
we did.
I mean,
I've
most
played a
of
lot
the
of
weddings
those.
I do are like that.
That's yeah. See, those are the best ones
the
because
new
there are
thing,
ones
yeah.
where like it's like be at the church, and there's people more religious.
Like muzzle tov.
Yeah,
All
be
right,
at
go
the
drink.
church at 12 o'clock and the reception's at 4:30, and it's like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do for 2 hours?
Go get hammered. That's
Be
what
the
you
church
did.
at 12 o'clock, then the reception doesn't start till like 7.
Yeah,
You're like,
I think my-
what am I going to do in Long Island for 4 hours?
I know.
I think my brother-in-law Joe started the cocktail
Don't play
hour
Rob
during
songs.
our reception. Like I think I saw him like eating some sort of sushi or something.
He brought that.
Well, actually, there's a funny story. When at the place we got married, when the bridal suite for everybody in the you remember this, Andy?
Yes.
They have and you too, but they have like a spread just for the bridal party, right? But I didn't want to do. I wanted to hang out with all the guests, so I just left. So I forgot something in the little bridal suite. So I came back and I saw my brother-in-law Joe by himself in the bridal suite with 8 plates, right? Like having himself a party, just by himself. Like I came back, and I just started cracking. I was like, "What?"
He thought he was at the Win.
He's like, there's no line here.
There's no line. He had everything full access. It was. I think I took a picture of it.
Why the bridal suite exists, so you can escape.
And you have a picture of that.
I took a picture of it.
My favorite part about the place that you guys got married was I know you guys were looking for, different locations and different venues and you weren't really sure what you wanted. And then somebody suggested the place you got married, Russo's on the Bay in Brooklyn?
In Queens.
In Queens. And you walked in and you were like, "Hi, we're Richie and Anne Marie. We're here to talk about possibly doing our wedding here." And they were like, "Oh, hang on a minute. Help yourself to some cookies. They're over there." And the story you told me was you went, grabbed one of the cookies, and with your mouth full, you were like, "We're getting married here."
Can I add to that story? Can
Go
I
ahead.
Come over and add to this. I was adamantly against getting married at this place
Yeah.
because it was just like the Ginzo of all Ginzo places you could get married.
Yeah, they got
It's
motorized
back.
stages. And
I was like,
through the
it was
floor.
brought up very early on in the process. I was like, no, absolutely friggin' not. Absolutely not. And then we go there and I'm sitting there and I'm like, I can't believe you made me do this.
She did it just as a courtesy.
I did it as a courtesy. Not even to you, like to your family,
Yeah.
everybody. They were like,
Yeah.
why don't you really check it out? You might
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
They redid it since. I'm like, fine. So we go in there. Richie goes over. He takes a
Macaroon.
a macaroon. It wasn't even a rainbow cookie. It
Yeah.
wasn't even like the thing that you think he would take. He takes a friggin' macaroon. He puts it in his mouth. And if you've ever seen Richie make this face, his eyes, he just goes, his eyebrows go back and his eyes really widen. You see the whites of his eyes. And then he looked at me. He goes, he didn't even say a word. He just took a macaroon and shoved it in my mouth. He's like, this is the place. I was like, yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
well, that wasn't only.
Pastries are very important to
Every
me.
other place smelled.
Well,
It smelled like
Catering halls smell like we do lots of weddings.
Yeah.
Everybody here, they stink, and like the rugs, they soak
retain
up
the smell.
beer and chicken and
Pregnancy.
chicken
like-
pregnancy.
And that goes along with those nights.
And
Like-
moistness of
No, but you know what I mean.
bridesmaids.
Like that catering hall smell. I said this place doesn't smell and the food's good.
No,
I'm
Russo's,
sold.
they had.
You're
They
talking
have
about Russo's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had. I went to a function there, and they had was probably the greatest cocktail hour
Yeah.
ever. The food was great, but I'll tell you one thing about that place: is a lot of good fellas walking around. When I was there, a lot of envelopes flying around, for sure.
Yeah, they had out of all I play weddings every single weekend. I'm actually going to leave for a wedding in about an hour, and
Yeah, we gotta
Russo's
wrap this up.
Yeah.
and
going to a
Nanina's in the
wedding too?
park
You're attending?
are by far the greatest cocktail hours you'll ever have.
Really?
Ever. And
Where is this?
Batello's pretty dope. Nanina's in Belleville.
Yeah, my
Nanina's
cousin
is
back
the
there.
most fantastic cocktail
It's very
hour.
good.
I'm a fan of the Westmount.
I'm actually
Country
playing the
Club.
Westmount tonight.
Is that where you're going tonight?
I did a gig with
Awesome.
her band at the Nina's at the park, and I went to the cocktail hour. I'm like, you guys don't have to pay me. I'm good.
Did you
Just
see
like-
the prosciutto? The prosciutto cake?
I had everything.
They make the
I
cake
couldn't
out of
play.
prosciutto.
I had to lower my strap.
The more prosciutto there, the better the wedding.
Oh yeah.
They had a whole 7-layer cake made out of prosciutto.
This is real Ginzo stuff
Oh my
you hear
God.
right now.
I just
Are you kidding me?
take my breath away.
I just made Rich's face on that one.
We just had a moment, guys.
Watching that.
All right, I'm hungry. Let's wrap this up. On the drums, Andy Escalise. On keyboards, Vin Innocente. On guitar, Andy Graziano. On background vocals and sass, Jared Pressman.
playing the sax.
I'm playing the sass.
Our peanut gallery on the stairs, Anne-Marie Castellano. Brandy Metaxas. Our special guests today, Chris Fortney. The Godfather, Rob Sprance.
And since this is technically an episode
Jared
of
just boo me.
in life, I boo you. But since this is technically an episode of The Hole, maybe Rob should end it as he normally does.
All right.
Yeah, I'll do that. Later, motherfucks.